a lot of times, I'll get a client in here that because they're struggling jumping rope or doing push or whatever, they say, "Oh, I can't." I point to these two gentlemen. I don't want to move the camera, but on my wall, I have a sign that says, "I can, I will," end of story.
Welcome one and all to Peachy Podcast, episode 8. Shout out to Kayo Boxing out of New York in the United States. Today we have 3 wonderful guests with us. We have Mike Corleone, is that right?
Yes, sir.
And we have Lorenzo, and of course we have Donny as well on the left-hand side. Really, really grateful to have you guys on. I really appreciate this, guys. Honestly, you're a huge inspiration to myself and many others around the world. So it's been fantastic to get you guys on. So the first question I want to start with, movie and or series that you choose to watch.
Okay, so you want to know what movie we'd watch?
Yeah.
Okay, what movie would you watch? If you watch any movie by yourself, what would it be?
Oh no, something with action. Some with action.
Pick a movie. Pick a name.
Oh. I like cartoons.
He likes cartoons, he says.
Marvel.
Oh, awesome. What cartoons?
What about you, Cupcake?
The second Avengers movie. I can't remember.
Second Avengers movie.
Absolutely brilliant. Fantastic. What about yourself, Mike?
Oh, myself? Gotta be the Godfather, sorry.
I read in an interview about that. You're the same way.
Godfather Part 2, to be honest.
Yeah. You're in the film, aren't you? Mike Corleone?
Yeah, something like that.
Oh, excellent. So just a brief introduction to Mike himself. Mike started boxing at the age of 21, debuting on 1992 against a national Puerto Rican champion called Roberto Mercedes. He won by way of knockout within 6 rounds, and since then has boxed for 27 years. And he's also founded Kayo Boxing, of which it's called today, in October 2006. So Mike is a man of the sport, as a combat sport. So we've got plenty of questions for this man today, and for his boys onto his right and
I
his left.
see you did your homework.
Yes, yeah. I tried to. Was that right?
Yeah, very correct.
Solid. Love it. Love it. So the first question would be for all 3 of you guys. Why would you say boxing is for everyone? Why is it important that we introduce ourselves to a combat sport such as boxing?
Want to answer that one first?
Mm-hmm.
Why do you think boxing is so important for you?
Oh,
what does it do for you?
It's been good conditioning for my ligaments.
He says that it's good conditioning for his ligaments.
Excellent. Yeah, fantastic. You got a good punch on you as well, Lorenzo.
Do you see your pretty face? Well, why do you think that boxing was so important for you?
Because I wanted to learn how to fight, but I wanted to learn how to fight with only using righty and lefty. We're using these 2 guys.
He wants to learn how to fight using his hands.
And are you guys both orthodox fighters or southpaw?
Both are orthodox.
Oh, excellent. And have you beaten up Mike at all yet?
Say again, sir?
Have you guys been beating up Mike as well in the ring?
Yeah, they knocked me around pretty good.
Oh, yeah. I've seen.
In all honesty, what I've found in the 17 years of owning my boxing gym, I found boxing is for everyone. It doesn't matter if you're 6 years old. Doesn't matter if you're 60-something years old. I actually have a couple of clients in my gym that are in their 70s now. And they've been with me a couple of years, but they find it to be such a great stress release. Works on their hand-eye coordination, their motor skills, which is why I'm so happy to work with these 2 gentlemen. It has worked on their motor skills. I mean, I can't even tell you how great their improvement has been.
I've seen, funny enough, so I started boxing quite late myself, and hopefully if the restrictions are right in this country, that I can have my first fight by the end of this year.
Oh,
And my
wonderful.
boxing coach said, and he was very impressed with the way you teach your coaching as well, and the movement in the hips and the motor skills that you guys do. He's very, very impressed with that as well. And a lot of people I've spoke to have been very impressed with what you guys do, and just the skill set that you guys teach at. It's fantastic. It's really good. Moving on to the next question, what would you say, and this is for all three of you again as well, what would you say is a successful fighter? This could be within boxing or outside of boxing.
I'm sorry, say that question again.
That's okay. What would you say would make a successful fighter?
What would you say would make a successful fighter, Lorenzo?
A diligent person.
Say it.
Diligent.
To be diligent.
Like that.
What would you say?
Determination.
Determination. I love that one. Yeah, definitely determination. What makes a good fighter? In life, boxing and in life will knock you down. It's not when you get knocked down, it's whether or not you get up. So every time you get up, you're ahead of the game.
100%. I completely agree. Good movie quote from Rocky there as well in that one, I think, isn't it? How many
Something
times
like that, I guess, yeah.
It's amazing. It's amazing. And for yourself, Mike, obviously you've been around the block in boxing per se. What would you say, looking at sort of your fighters that are competing at sort of a professional level, what would you say you'd look for in them as a fighter?
Well, I think Floyd Mayweather says it best. The idea is to hit and not get hit. Mike Tyson also says it best. Everybody's got a plan till you punch in the mouth. So, that's what it comes down to.
What would you look for in a fighter that would deem them successful?
What would I deem a successful fighter? Who or what?
So what sort of aspects of their sort of personality would you look for in a fighter to make them successful?
Well, I would look for somebody who is not afraid to fail. Not that they want to fail, but somebody, see, I've been in this sport a long time. And, a lot of times, you get somebody who's, when they're winning, they're great. Everything's great. But when they lose one time, that's it. They're like, oh, it's over for me. That's not a fighter. It may be a good boxer, but it don't make him a fighter. You want to be a fighter in this sport or in any sport in life, you got to be able to take the ups and the downs. And unfortunately, especially in boxing, there's usually more downs than there are ups. The ups are great, but you got to be able to handle the downs.
Definitely. I find that as well, because do you find that when it comes to sparring, that let's say they've not been hit before, they get hit for the first time, and then their whole morale changes within boxing?
Sure. I've seen it way too often. And, you see a fighter, and when he's doing good, it's great. When all of a sudden he hits a little bit of a rough patch, in baseball, they call it a slump. Well, why can't boxers have slumps? Boxing is the only sport where if you lose 2 or 3 times, you're finished, you're washed up. And that really should not be the case. I realize you guys are over there, but here in America, we have sport teams, like the Yankees, they dominate. We have the Patriots, they dominate. Take a football team like the Patriots. They would go on to win the Super Bowl. Meanwhile, they lost 5 or 6 games during the regular season. And you're not talking like they had a 100-game season. They had a 14-game season. If they lose 5, they still win the Super Bowl. In boxing, you lose 5 fights, you're a has-been, or it never was. That's unfortunate.
Oh, definitely. Yeah, you see it a lot, don't you? I mean, there's one fighter out in the UK, I think, who's been quite lucky. Derek Chisora. He's had a lot of losses, but he'd always come back at some way, sort of thing. But I think he's one of the rare fighters that has lost so many that he has, but still has the sort of rise to what he has. Really, it's incredible. As a sort of like talent scout, or even not talent scout, a sort of promoter, how do you sort of promote your fighters?
Well, each fighter is his own story. Okay, so it's not like there's no set text. Say, okay, this guy won 5 fights, or this guy's got a good jab, or this guy's got a good hook. This is the guy that I want to train. I look for everything. I look for not only what he has, but what he don't have. What he could do with himself if he hits a rough patch.
Definitely.
Now you're gonna, as a coach, you're gonna invest so much time and energy into. I always say that in my gym, we don't have members. We have family. Everybody's a family member. Why? Because when I put that much energy into you, they're like my children now. I have 2 kids that I love more than life itself, but they know that every one of these gym members that I have, they're my family. I can't tell you how many weddings I've been to, how many times I've been in the wedding party. I was best man at one of my students' weddings. I'm godfather to another one of my students' children. So my students, they're family. There's no question about it.
And what do you think makes a great community?
I'm sorry, sir?
That's all right. What do you think makes a great community within the gym environment?
What makes a great community? Like I said, my students are a family to me. So I think we lost you a little bit there.
That's okay.
There we go. I'm sorry. I don't want to lose my boy Donny.
Yeah.
My students are family. Now I've known Lorenzo for 2 years. And during our shutdown, the lockdown, I was training Lorenzo in my backyard, right, in the driveway. And Lorenzo comes to me from a half an hour away. Okay. Now, Donny, I just met this past month. And the compassion I have for Donny is without words. To see how much he tries, both these guys. I feel like I'm letting somebody, not talking about both of them. I want to talk about both of them. These guys, when they come in here, they give you 100%. And if there's any way of giving more than 100%, these guys will find the way. So for me, that makes what I do very enjoyable.
It's a beautiful atmosphere, isn't it? When you've got everyone sort of all together and working beyond their sort of threshold. It's amazing. And I think that's one thing I certainly noticed about you guys as well is how much you guys put so much effort into your training, how much you go through adversity. Like it's not even there, and it's so impressive.
Well, I'll tell you. Let me tell you a little bit about Lorenzo. When Lorenzo first came to me 2 years ago, he had called a couple of times, and I thought it was a prank phone call. I'll be honest with you, because Lorenzo's speech was not that great at that time. All right, he's working tremendously on it. When he first called me, I thought either it was a prank or maybe it was a guy who had drank too much that night. So the guy said he was going to come. I said, okay. I gave him how much it cost and what time the classes were. And I didn't even ask his name because I didn't think it was a real phone call. The next day comes. He was supposed to come to a Saturday morning class. He doesn't come. I didn't think nothing of it because I didn't think the phone call was real anyway. A few weeks go by, really, maybe almost a month. I get another phone call. And now I get dozens, if not maybe 100 phone calls a day, a week, So sometimes I might forget a voice, but his voice was very distinctive. And so a guy asked me about coming to class. So I thought I recognized his voice, but I didn't want to assume. So I said, as I gave him the spiel again. And again, he doesn't come. So third time comes by now. Now it's been another month. So time has elapsed. So you might forget about a phone call. But like I said, Lorenzo's voice you can't forget it. And I was in the middle of teaching a private lesson. It was about 8 o'clock, 9 o'clock in the morning, and the class started at 10 o'clock. So this guy's telling me he wants to come to class. I said, listen, guy, you've called me before. You said you wanted to come. You didn't come. Please don't waste my time. I'm a very busy man. Hang up the phone. Well, about a half hour goes by, and I have 2 glass doors in front of my store. So I'm training the class, and most of the time back then, my wife and my son helped me with my class. And so I see this man walking to the door with his walker, struggling. So I'm like, what? I run to the door, and right away I realized that the phone call that I had been receiving was this gentleman. So naturally, I felt like the biggest jerk. So I walked the kid in, and we tried to do some boxing, we tried to do some mitts, but obviously at that time, his abilities were very limited. But you could tell that he wanted to do everything that I was asking. And at no time did he have an excuse on why he couldn't do it. And he gave me 100% of whatever he could give. That touched me. So when his mother said to me at the end of the class, how much do I owe you? I said, I'm sorry, ma'am, but I didn't ask you for money. She says, yeah, but it can't be free. I said, really? I said, why, you the boss? She says, no. I said, well, I am the boss. That's what I say. She says, why? I says, well, the look on your son's face, the smile that was on his face, that's why. What he has given me, I can't put a price on. So he's been with me now for 2 years. Now Donny, wow. Donny, when he first walked, you'll see the videos that I put on Facebook and Instagram. When Donny first came in, again, Donny struggled to walk. I was actually misquoting. It turned out that his accident was in 2016, not 2013. So let me clarify that. But right. So when Donny first came to me, I tried to start him out because I had a blueprint already with Lorenzo. So I tried to follow the same blueprint. But you can't follow the same blueprint because each person has their own abilities or disabilities. So we started to work. And it was a struggle. His balance was off and what have you. But again, just like Lorenzo, you could tell he's giving you 100%. He's not holding anything back. And again, this SOB, he stole my heart. All right, and now I've been working with him, and the improvement that he has made is off the chart. I spoke before about Lorenzo, how he walked in on the walk one on. Now Lorenzo, when he comes in, takes his walks over to the speed bag, starts hitting the speed bag, walks over to the heavy bag. I'm sitting there on the phone, so I'm on the phone a lot. I'm looking at this kid, I'm like, oh, where you going? Yeah, I'm gonna hit you just think you're gonna do what you want. Like, you realize that I'm worried that you're gonna fall, but Lorenzo ain't waiting. He don't need nobody as a crutch. He's gonna do what he needs to do, and he ain't waiting for nobody. Which is why I love this kid so much. Donny, same animal, same thing. Donny walking, or Donny like Lorenzo with the smile. I don't know what it is. I must have put a sign up or something, because these guys, they come in with these big, huge smiles. Just makes my day.
I have to say, you've got a great aura about yourself that makes it's very positive and it's very cheery. I think that's why these people come to yourself, because you've got a very good aura.
I never want to think that I'm doing any miracle. They're the miracle. These
100%.
guys, because if you would have asked me if they were going to be able to do what they're able to do today, I would have said, you're out of your mind. No way. You know, you just put them in the corner. But these kids, they try so hard. You want to see them go to the next level. A lot of times on Instagram, you know, at the end of the day, now I work from 6:30 in the morning, sometimes 5:30 in the morning, and I'm here till 8:30 at night. That's a lot of hours. When I get home, it doesn't give me much time to spend with my own family, my kids, my wife. And right after I eat dinner, which most of the time I'm on the phone when I'm eating dinner, I'm laying in bed trying to get some rest. I'll be up at 5:30 in the morning. My phone's going off with this message, that message, and I feel like it's my duty to answer every one of these texts. So I do answer everyone. And you know, they asked me, what do you hope to see? What do you think Lorenzo will be able to do? Or what do you think Donny will be able to do? Do you think they'll ever be 100%? And I tell them, just like I tell everybody, first of all, I never thought they were going to do what they're doing now. So I'm not going to set no limitations on these guys. These two guys are blowing the limitations right out the window. So will they ever be 100%? That I can't tell you, and I won't tell you. Okay, because I don't want to look foolish if I said no. All right, I have such high expectations of these two kids.
Excellent. Question for Lorenzo. What does boxing mean for you, Lorenzo?
What do boxing mean? It means I get to try to do something with my life other than sitting down.
Amazing. And do you enjoy the training you do? Is there any times that you don't enjoy training, or you find it tougher than most?
Yeah, and I have an injury.
What injuries have you had?
My arm.
Yeah.
And I think that's it, because I stretch. After that, I stretch.
Like an overextension. All right. What's the best punch you've got, Lorenzo?
Left hook. He's got some heck of a hook, boy.
I've seen that left hook, man.
That left hook, you don't want to be on the receiving end of that left hook.
No way. I've seen it. It's really good. Funny enough, that was the video I saw with my coach. And he loved the way he turned his hand over the elbows and the hip was twisted. He was so impressed.
Put his ass into it.
It was amazing, man. Amazing. And a question for yourself, Donny. Same question. What does boxing mean to yourself?
It means that if anyone tries to disrespect anyone else about their injuries, I'll show them what my injury brought to me.
A lot of times, you know, I'll get a client in here that because they're struggling jumping rope or doing push or whatever, they say, "Oh, I can't." I point to these two gentlemen. I don't want to move the camera, but on my wall, I have a sign that says, "I can, I will," end of story. And I like to have my students read that almost every day. I can, I will, end of story. And there's no two ways about that.
Definitely. Donny, what's your best shot? What's your best shot, Donny?
What's your best shot?
Hunt?
I would say mine is a right uppercut.
Yeah.
Right uppercut.
You got some two good brawlers here, man. That's brilliant.
I'm sorry, say again.
I see you got two good strong brawlers here, man.
Yes,
I'm not
I
messing with you
do.
guys
I'm
anytime
truly
soon.
blessed.
Yeah.
I don't want anybody to see this video and not know how truly blessed I have been. I'm a very lucky man.
Excellent. Oh, definitely. And I think anyone who views your post as well are very lucky and very blessed, because I mean, there's been times, obviously, with all that's gone on in the UK, with fitness businesses shutting down quite quickly, a lot of us as trainers feel quite low. But when we see what you guys do and the energy you guys have in these videos and these posts, it inspires a lot of people. And I think we're blessed to have you guys as well. We're very blessed.
Well, that's one of the reasons why I feel I need to answer each one of those comments individually, because I know that there are people out there that are inspired by what these two gentlemen can do. I know how much it touches these people that are watching this. So I feel like it's my job to respond to these people. If they took time out of their busy days to let me know how it affects them, and I should respond.
100%. What started off your coaching career?
What started off my coaching career? Well, I got married in 2003. And at that time, I was coming to the end of my boxing career. And, I was working in this gym, that gym. And, I was expecting my first child. I said, you know what? I need to evolve into the next part of my life. I said, let me open up a gym, because it's really all I love to do. I mean, I love to be in the gym. I love to train. I did not realize how much I was going to enjoy training. I love to work out, and I love to mix it up and compete with other people. It's not a matter of fighting. I don't like to say I like to fight. I just like the competition. I like to put my best against your best, and let's see, and throughout my career, a lot of times I'd fight somebody 2 or 3 times, 4 times, because if they beat me once, I want to say that obviously I wasn't my best, so I want to give my best. And anytime I've ever done that, fortunately for me, I've always been on the, I've always done 2 out of 3, me being the 2 out of their 3. So I said, let me see if I can do that by owning the gym. What I didn't know was that I was actually going to love what I do now more than what I did in my career. To see, like I said, I'm truly blessed. When I see, make somebody become a Golden Glove champion, or just an amateur champion, or win a fight. But I take guys like this. These guys are not fighting in the ring. They're fighting in life. All right, and they're winning. All right, they're winning. That's the bottom line. That is rewarding to me.
Definitely. And just a question for Lorenzo: who is your favorite fighter?
Who's your favorite fighter? Aside from my
Oh no.
Last year I took him to meet Mike Tyson.
Oh, no way. Wow.
Yeah.
I got to take a picture with Mike Tyson.
Yeah.
Oh,
My favorite fighter is right there.
Real fight.
You saying he's not real?
Boxer. What boxer is your favorite boxer?
Same exact answer.
Mike Tyson?
No.
Mike Corleone?
Matthew Maldonado.
His dad.
Well, there you go. Now you see, now right there, that's a great answer.
yeah.
what I don't know if you heard what he said, but he said his father. Now, for me, that's when you know you're raising your kids the right way. When people would ask me, when I would do interviews, they would say, "Who do you admire? Who do you look up to?" I would always say my father. He just said the same thing, his father. And for me, that could not have been a better answer.
Definitely. Another question for your boys as well. Tyson Fury or Anthony Joshua? Who wins?
Tyson Fury or Anthony Joshua?
I don't know.
Yeah, so let me take this off Facebook. He says he doesn't know. What do you think?
Tyson Fury.
Tyson Fury. I gotta tell you, I have to agree with that answer. Although Anthony Joshua is certainly the bigger and more beautiful fighter, I guess you would say. Tyson Fury just, he's slick. If you look at Tyson Fury, you wouldn't think that he's a boxer, let alone a world champion. But but here's what I've learned in life. There is no such thing as the greatest. Anybody can be beaten on any given time by almost anybody. And it has been proven in history a million times. Look at Deontay Wilder. Look at Tyson Fury. Look at what's the Mexican world champion? The one who beat Anthony Joshua. One day, but it's not about. That's why I admire Floyd Mayweather Jr. so much, because he fights a style which I would want to fight, or not because he's got a grand chin or he's got a hard punch, but because that guy for almost 30 years fought at the top of the game and he won. You never saw him out of shape. You never saw him he gained 30 or 40 pounds. Then he had to lose the weight again. I lost you again.
That's all right.
Hang on a minute, please.
No worries.
Listen, unfortunately, I'm gonna have to cut this a little bit short.
That's okay. No worries.
I think the boys are getting tired.
That's cool.
And, my phone's gonna be ringing off the hook now, so.
That's no worries. Well, look, I've really appreciated you guys and your time. I'm going to continue supporting you guys because you're fantastic.
Thank you.
I'm really inspired by what you guys do. Lorenzo, loving the work you're doing. I'm seeing the progression week after week through the post now. It's absolutely amazing. Donny, I'm looking forward to seeing your story and your journey with Kayo Boxing. It's been so good having you guys on. I really appreciate it. I hope to keep in touch. But yeah, I really appreciate it. Thank you very much, guys, and God bless.
Hey, guys.
All right. Right, thank you guys. God bless. So that was Kayo Boxing, a fantastic set of interviewees today as well with Lorenzo, Donny, and of course, Mike Corleone, not the mafia boss. He was fantastic and they answered their questions really well and I thoroughly enjoyed it. So keep an eye out, guys. This one will be out not this Sunday, but the next Sunday going. And yeah, this has been Peachy Podcast episode 8. Shout out to Kayo Boxing out of New York, United States. God bless, guys.